Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, we at the channel are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. We are all about saving lives here at the Jamaica Young Police channel, but some lives are not worth saving. They have lived a parasitic life and were not contributing citizens to the society. Hence, we'd like to find a way to get rid of them by any means necessary. The Jamaica Young Police channel is not for criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, beneficiaries, sympathizers, excuse specialists, and head hunchers in the criminal world. At the channel, we hate criminals with a passion, especially criminal police officers who rob people, extort, transport illegal firearms and ammunition, drugs, and wanted men for crimes in their personal and police vehicle. And you know, there are a lot of criminal police officers in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Before we begin the video today, we want our audience and detractors to know that anything that we have said here that is incorrect, you can reach out to us and we will give you the chance to correct the same by contacting us at 954-556-0275. And we are not afraid to say that if we have made a mistake here and there, but we try at all times to be honest, truthful, and transparent. To us, the first and foremost thing about us at this channel is our character, credibility, and reputation. If the truth shall kill those who hate the truth, let it kill them. And another thing, let me remind you, this channel is not for people who have 5 seconds attention span. And 5 second attention span is like that of a goldfish. This channel is for people who are resilient, willing to listen, willing to learn, and decimate the information, decipher the information that they receive for themselves. You watch, you listen, you decide. We're not imposing our will on anyone. All we're trying to do is for people to be honest at all times, because we just want to change the mindset of the people. Because remember, people who are dishonest are normally, that's the first trait to become a criminal. Whether or not you want to believe it, you have to be dishonest to ignore your conscience. So we know that criminals are people with paranoid psychosis who often believe that the government is persecuting them and that the police are trying to kill them, when they are the ones who are killing others and believe that their lives is more important than their victims. So we're delving right now into part 4. Yes, part 4 of the rise and fall of Christopher Dudus, shower posse leader. Yes, and you know, that's the man who had brought down the Prime Minister, Bruce Golding. He had to resign because of bad decision made by him. Sometime in life, when you're right, you have to comply, then you complain. And we have learned that from the Jamaica Police Academy. Not because you're right, mean that because there's normally a court, for you to get recourse and address with any problems that you're having. So we want you watch, you listen, and you decide as we continue the journey. And remember, at the end, you're going to hear in details how Christopher Dudus was transported from Tivoli Gardens until he returned back on his way to Kingston when he was arrested by the security forces. And the security force obliges, because if you fire, you're going to get preemptive strike, and they have to defend themselves. The security force were of the view that Coke was in Tivoli Gardens. KD Knight, a Jamaican senator who headed the Ministry of Defense and Foreign Relations under the PNP, said that the security force came on heavy gunfire. They were going to get him. Anything in the way would be regarded as collateral damage. Yeah, true. You understand? All Dudus had to do, just waive extradition and just go to United States of America. Tivoli would still be an untouchable community. So Dudus is the one because of his ego. Oh, one man could have been so stupid because you're a criminal and you're president this and as if you're larger than life and you have immunity from prosecution. So you feel like, boy, you are on a country, Tivoli Garden is a country within a country. So no security force cannot come in there and get you. And see what happened now? You lose everything. Because if Jamaica was operating as a state with law and order, there would be a warrant in Jamaica right now for the arrest of Christopher Dudus for treason or sedition because he attacked the state. Remember, the economy came to a grinding halt for 4 days. All because of him. One man, that's how powerful he was and still is. Because right now, Jamaica, I would never see another man like Christopher Dudus ever. The power that this man possesses, that people are willing to give away their lives for this man. Oh, people mindset work that way. So nearly 100 people die for this man and this man is still alive. Don't you see that you people are all stupid and idiots? That's how criminality is rampant and it's a part of the Jamaican culture. That a man feel like him willing to die for a criminal. Them not willing to die for Jamaica because them rather pop it down. So, moving on. Unofficially, some police officials characterized the operation as a sacrifice, pointing to 30% decline in Jamaica's murder rate as justification for the loss of life in the Tivoli raid. An official from the PNP suggests that Tivoli guilt was, in a sense, collective. There was a torture chamber, he said. The community has to take some responsibility. I'm sure the entirety of Germany wasn't guilty of the crimes of the Second World War, but an entire generation of Germans are to suffer the consequences of the Allied bombing. So, they must say, boy, basically, Dudus are the people them at Tivoli Gardens, and the reason why they are the one that responsible for most of the murders in Jamaica. That's why the murder rate had dropped by 30%. And if it so be the case, that means it's data they're working on, whether PNP or GLP, but they're telling you that. So I just saw it go. So the Tivoli people were killed. Remember, most of their crimes, the people in Tivoli Gardens, the men, they commit outside of Tivoli Gardens. And we're going to let you, just a little in regard to touching that. We're going to let you hear about this police SSP McDonald who was killed by Chris Royal. Christopher Coke, that is Dudus' brother, killed a policeman, a senior policeman, and took away his gun and other things. And it is rumored in the police circle that senior superintendent McDonald was affiliated with the people in Tivoli Gardens because McDonald used to be around the former Prime Minister Edward Seaga, so he was a known labourite, but he was affiliated with them and he was killed. So they were saying that all kind of things, that it was some drugs money that didn't share well, and so we're not going to digress, but we're going to let you know that later on, after through with this series, you will get that about SP McDonald. You understand? So by the day after the operation, claims of extrajudicial killings had reached the Prime Minister, who asked Bishop Blair and the nation public defender Earl Witter to go to Tivoli Gardens to investigate. The men spent several hours there, accompanied by a member of the security forces. Walls had packed packed with bullet holes. 2 buildings had burned to the ground. In some apartments, the men found up to a dozen people packed into a single room, sweating and terrified. Women told them of police shooting unarmed young men inside their homes, dragging them out into the street and killing them. In a flat near Java, the investigators saw a waist-high bullet hole in one wall with blood on the floor. Witnesses said that Errol Spence, a 22-year-old barber, had been shot and killed there. Blair, who had served in the Jamaican National Guard, was skeptical of the claim that a massacre occurred. He said that when he met with Coke in Java before the attack to negotiate in a resolution, he saw roughly 100 gunmen with him. There is a script that is written. Whenever police are involved, he told me. People will say the same thing. Witter, a former journalist whose office investigated constitutional violation and cases of injustice, took the allegation seriously after hearing rumors that soldiers were advising residents to clean up crime scenes. He opened an office in the neighborhood and began an investigation. 18 months later, Witter's investigation is still underway. He expects to complete an interim report by the end of the year. On June 22nd, a month after the attack on Tivoli Gardens, the police caught Coke. 1 month after, so we're going to tell you how he was able to elude the police for over a month, who the participants and the people who helped him. Because you know, to date, nobody is willing to come out and tell the people because of the people who are involved, and you know, Jamaica people, them afraid to be labeled informer because there's a culture where it's a shame. In Jamaica, to be an informer is a shame. But I am proud of that title. Yes, I'm happy. I'm a good informer. I don't like thieving police, you understand? I do believe in preemptive strike, that criminals must live in fear of losing their lives and not the law-abiding citizens. So, you know, those who understand where I'm coming from a military perspective and a police perspective. Yes. You understand? So, you know, so we continue the journey. So on June 22nd, a month after the attack on Tivoli Gardens, the police caught Coke at a roadblock. He was dressed as a woman and wearing a wig. The driver, the Reverend Al Miller, said Coke was on his way to the U.S. Embassy to surrender. Since late June, Coke has been held at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Lower Manhattan. He has been listening on a CD player to the 35,000 wiretapped recordings that form the bulk of the government case against him. In July, a dozen relatives and well-wishers visited the federal courthouse on Pearl Street to attend a hearing. Coke wore a jumpsuit and his hair was shaved down to stubble. Accompanied by 2 guards, he kissed his palm as he entered the courtroom and held it up to his supporters, who remained standing until the Don had taken his seat. Coke had heard about the death of Mickey Freeman. He got emotional. Stephen H. Rosen, one of Coke's 2 attorneys, said his eyes welled up. Rosen told me that Coke denied ordering the barricades be built or that anyone attacked the security forces. Show me an honest criminal. I appeal like Dudus I tell about him. He's the one that did it. And you think the people them at Tivoli they can't come out and say, boy, I do this order this. If them do that, them dead. But you hear my lie though, say, oh, you know, I'm innocent and I did not tell the people them of Tivoli Gardens to make any barricade and, you know, to lock down and you know, they walk to visit them, like all the caroling grooms. Oh, you know, Christopher Dudus Coke, he's an honorable man. And you know, the people in Tivoli Gardens and in and around Kingston West, constituency, you know, they respected him because this man is a very peaceful man and he keeps the peace. And you know, shoppers are safe downtown, and always shoppers are safe downtown because this man, you know, everything when him say is law, you know. But you understand? And guess what? Dudus can kill any amount of people publicly, and not a single person will give a statement because them know giving a statement is signing them death warrant, because that's how them operate, you know. Them operate with fear. Them use fear and instill it in the heart of the people, and then become fearful. And then them have this stigma that go with the things, informer for dead. So people do not want that to be pointed at them. As you know, as it is done with me, you know, people will point to boy, the one put informer police boy, you know, because I don't like thieving police. I do believe in preemptive strike. I do not like thieving police. I don't have a problem to get rid of criminal. Any means necessary, because and plus I am a military personnel. I don't like thieving police. I don't believe in a police where people cook, shake them down and all of them things. Any police will know me. Me and Ruben Gunter. You understand? And Ruben Gunter, I know him not going to reach further than inspector, because look at him squad, Hubert Llewellyn. Llewellyn is still being punished for being an honest police officer. There is no room for honest police officer in the Jamaica criminal force. It's not a constable, it's a criminal force. Because we have seen, under this commissioner of police, we've seen drug mule, police officer who carry drugs in them belly and come to America, get promotion to deputy soup. We have seen assistant men promoted to assistant commissioner of police who are money courier for drug dealers in America, and we can go on and on. But yet and we see the same drug courier is the same one who sent a voice note to Wayne Uglesom, you know, to impugn my character. And this man is a man involved in a drug trade, and he's close to our man here, Christopher Brother J. Ebert, who had lied on his immigration application to the United States Homeland Security. This is a man who was deported from Canada. This is a man who was arrested twice in Canada. You understand? And deported, convicted and deported. And them give him clean slate and now he's an American citizen. So we continue the journey. So we see, you know, in the Jamaican criminal force, there's no, I can't right now, I am just talking from my experience. I can name the police officers who are honest, decent and ethical police officers in the police force that the Jamaican people can trust. I don't know most of these degree police, because they are paper police. You understand? Most of them have no experience. They don't even know how to investigate or even swear themselves in court. But I know people talking about the police force is corrupt and you cannot. But I know a man by the name of McCarthy Sutherland. They call him the Black Mark Shields. That's the man that, if that man become commissioner of police, you will see a different police force. Yes, Major Anthony understand the police. He's a celebrity. He's not a police, he's a soldier, and he's not certified. See all the expo and them thing when them have police that do all kind of madness. What kind of thing that's? How much money it costs the police force to do that? The only people who say police force have weapon and all them thing there. What you trying to do? Educate the criminals more of the technology and the thing that the police force have. We'll continue the journey, man. So yeah, we'll talk, you know. So, you know, as usual, there's no honest criminal. So Dudus say he did not even deny order in the barricades be built and that anyone attacked the security force. Lies, because in a Cedric Daggy Murray diary, Cedric Murray done state his loyalty to the Coates family. In late August, Christopher Dudus Coke pleaded guilty to racketeering charges. He is scheduled to sentence in January of that year and faces up to 23 years in prison. Less than a month after Coke's plea, Bruce Golding announced resigning as Prime Minister. The entire episode has affected me deeply, he said, of Coke extradition in an address to the nation. After decades of quasi-independence, Tivoli Garden is finally under state control. And see it, ego cause that. Ego, because this little sharp man who feel like he's above the law, and because he has people, criminals, you know, gunmen, you know, who are loyal and ready to kill for him. That's why he had felt this way. Because I remember, you know, several police, them kill even a youth, you know, who used to die in them town, you know, police service week, you know, Saturday named Thompson, you know, because Thompson, even the police, them, I remember one time I was at court and he told me that he refused to join this cabal of criminality with these people at Tivoli Garden and Denantown, because police were in bed with them. And he had told me some name of some police officer at Denantown that I should be careful of, because they were criminals in uniform. And this was a good police officer, and them killed him. Shot him downtown on Saturday and killed him. Because they saw him as a threat to them, because he wasn't taking any talk from any dance. And they killed him in a marked service vehicle. So, you know, Tivoli had lost its quasi-independence because of Dudus. The neighborhood pays for its electricity and take its dispute to the two Jamaican courts, but residents continue to praise Coke. Dudus a good man, just an ordinary man, a man you can go up and talk to. If Dudus here, I beg him $50 and get it. Tivoli's greatest tribute to Coke is paid in silence. How Tivoli Gardens people talk. A mother who has lost 2 sons in the attack said, when I mentioned rumors that one had fought for the Dudus, I need to choose my friends more carefully, she said. So let me repeat this for you, you know. You understand? Just listen to this. Tivoli's greatest tribute to Coke is paid in silence. Oh, Tivoli people talk. A mother who lost 2 sons in the attack said, when I mentioned rumors that one had fought for Coke, I need to choose my friends more carefully, she said. I asked whether she was sure there was no gunman among the 5 boys killed on her street. You know, I can't give you that information, she said. You can't talk, no informers in these places. The people who are informers, you know, they are shunned in this community. So that's why we have a criminal system, criminal's paradise in Jamaica. When I said that made it hard to believe anything she said, she snapped. I said, then you talk, then I get killed. So you do man say, she has talking and say, boy, if she talk, she get killed, so she will just shut up. And them just dead with all of them secret there. Shortly after 1 o'clock on May 24th, 2010, Norman Grindley, the chief photographer of the Jamaica Gleaner, climbed up to the roof of the paper office building in Kingston and began taking pictures of a plane that has been seen circling above Tivoli Gardens since late morning. It was a surveillance plane, a Lockheed P-3 Orion, with the seal on the tail identifying it as belonging to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. A DHS spokesperson confirmed that it had aircraft flying above Kingston on May 24, 2010 in support of the DEA and the Jamaican government. A DHS incident report from the Freedom of Information Act described the surveillance. All scenes were continuously recorded, the statements read. The State Department and the DEA have also officially acknowledged that the plane assisted the government during the Tivoli operation. The P-3 Orion, they said in a statement given to me this fall, passed information to U.S. law enforcement agencies and officers stationed at the embassy in Jamaica who provided the information to the Jamaican authorities. The statement said the U.S. law enforcement officers had not made operation decisions during the incursion and emphasized Jamaican responsibility. The video material was not viewed in the embassy, a State Department spokesperson said. It was viewed as Tactical Operations Center, and I don't have that location. When asked whether U.S. officials were at the Tactical Operations Center, the spokesperson said, I don't know, I can't clarify that for you. A DEA spokesperson said, we were not involved on the ground in any operation, but part of the DHS report appeared to contradict that assertion. The plane was assigned at the request and in support of the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, Kingston Country Office. The report reads, surveillance support is needed to increase officers' safety. Later, spokespeople from the State Department and DHS, that's the Department of Homeland Security, said this referred solely to Jamaican officers. Major General Stuart Saunders, who led the Jamaican Army during the attack on Tivoli, retired shortly afterward and declined repeat requests for comment, as did Prime Minister Golding. Numerous other officials at the U.S. Embassy in Kingston, the DEA, the Justice Department and State Department declined to comment, saying that they had to wait until Witter's report was completed or until Coke's was sentenced. The US played a significant role in tracking coke before the operation. We were constantly involved in the investigation. Bill Sorokos, the Chief of International Investigation Branch of the U.S. Embassy Marshal Service, said, "We provided information and intelligence on cokes and associates he was with. He noted that U.S. collaborates closely with the Jamaican Fugitive Operations Team, a particular unit of police that the investigation was worked jointly by DEA and the police." A senior Jamaican parliamentarian added that the U.S. government had provided satellite images of Tivoli in response to a 2008 request from Jamaica law enforcement official who said they needed help tracking coke. The U.S. knew that there was a risk of violence against civilians. During the operation, human rights activists have collected stories of JCF excesses for decades, including officers indiscriminately fired on teenage girls or crowded buses. In 2010, the police killed 320 civilians, a figure that does not include the 93 who died in Tivoli. This is 40 times the number killed last year by the police. New York Police Department responsible populations 3 times as significant. The JCF routinely carry out summary execution of suspected criminals, say Jerome Harris, who retired as head of the DEA Caribbean Division in 2008. Hey, look here, Mr. Harris. You don't live in Jamaica, you don't understand how our criminal them operating. So, but you have to talk about execution. It's preemptive strike. Our criminal them in Jamaica are some hard and heartless criminal. You see how them kill them, rape all old people and then kill them. You think them are afraid to shoot off our police? I mean execution. What kind of madness that? If Jamaican police have the same protection to operate as the American police, Jamaica could easily have at least 10,000 fatal shootings every year. Easy, because Jamaican are some of the most violent black people on earth. Number one, Jamaican people do not like law and order. Jamaican people don't follow structure. Jamaican people just do as them please. They don't believe in our rules or anything. If you notice, anytime a police is doing its work in Jamaica, they are flocked by a crowd of hostile, ignorant and arrogant people who violently attack the police. And you talk about extrajudicial killing. Jamaica police don't commit extrajudicial killing. All of those things are myth. Jamaicans are violent people. So if a policeman, if you have to defend yourself, use preemptive strike, how is that extrajudicial killing? You prevent the person from carrying out the action from killing you. This is what kind of madness this is, man. Come on, man. We expect better than that from you, because when these same people, look at the Jamaican who shoot the US Marshal them in Massachusetts, and when they meet up with him again in New York, him shot another police. I kill them if I kill him. A Jamaican that, and some violent people, them people don't care about other people's life, and you must afraid of them. So the only way you can erase the fear is kill them. That's all you have to do. You have to defend yourself. That's how it is. So we'll continue the journey, and that's a bad statement from Mr. Jerome Harris, man. Come on, man. Do better than that. Because if Jamaican policemen have the resources and the law and fall of Christopher Dudus spoke, the shower posse done. The same man who has been, rise to prominence and power in Jamaica, in which this man was untouchable there. Even the community where he used to live, the police have to literally ask permission from him to enter, or else the security forces come on at every gunfire. That's how it is there. So, we keep moving on, and all we're doing is educating the people, giving them context of what happened back in 2010, prior to the incursion. And as we told you before, at the end, you're going to hear who are the players involved in helping this man to evade and elude the security forces. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel, We have zero tolerance of criminals and their supporters and enablers and benefactors. So we keep moving on as a group of law-abiding citizens. Our job is to educate, inform, inspire, and to change mind, because we just want people to think. If you love criminals, this is not your state, this is not your channel, so just go elsewhere. Alright? Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel, out.